Welcome back to another SCP video. Welcome back to another SCP video. We have another versus. Today we have SCP-106 versus 682. Now, I actually considered watching a background video on 682 beforehand. I'm familiar with 682, but only in the like kind of poster boy kind of way, because I'm pretty sure 682 is one of the poster boy or poster girl SCPs for the Foundation. So without further ado, welcome back, folks. Sending out a lot of love. I don't know if I said that in my last video, damn, but we're coming back, just getting back on track. Yesterday was really a good day to kind of take a little bit, don't do too many videos. Other than that, don't worry, finding out a new way where I'm gonna be able to funnel videos a bit easier. Like I said, I still recommend you send them through Twitter, Instagram, which you guys have been doing, and it's good, and leave it in the comments too. Other than that, subscribe. I upload every single day. And let's begin SCP 106 versus 682.
The battle will begin after a quick word from this video's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Skillshare, an amazing online learning community with thousands of classes.
I usually skip these in videos. Nobody really has a problem with it. So, like, you know, I'll hop. I was going to use the time to take a sip of water here. If you see me, get some water right now. I'll wait a minute. Get some water. If you have a drink next to you. Ready? Cheers. Let's go. That's good. All right, let's go.
Receive their first month completely free of charge. So use the link below and begin exploring your creativity today. The smell of death and rot filled the beast's cell.
Oh my gosh. This is SCP Illustrated. I didn't even check who this was by. Oh, it was. Man, you know, with these drawings, man, he kills it. Look at this. I wish I could make this a thumbnail. Not a chance.
The corpse of a woman fell through the ceiling. She was covered in a black substance that ate away at her flesh as he crept forward to investigate. A quick sniff confirmed what he already knew. A sound like wet mud began to echo around his cell as the walls began to bleed a thick tar.
Not today, old man.
SCP-682 squared his shoulders and charged at the cell door. Despite several inches of tungsten and reinforced concrete, the door buckled and broke. He easily barged his way through the secondary containment gates and sprinted down the nearest corridor, eager to put as much distance between the old man and himself as possible. SCP-682 had no intention of paying hell a visit. As he attempted to navigate the endless corridors, he saw the old man's handiwork everywhere. Crippled bodies lying in puddles of filth and blood, faces contorted in petrified agony. He slammed through a wall and found himself falling down an elevator shaft. He dug his claws into the walls and began to claw his way to the surface. His blood ran cold as he looked up to see SCP-106 standing horizontal on the wall, looking down at him. He froze.
Leave me alone,
he demanded. The iconic smile of the old man formed across his face, usually the last thing a person saw before death took them. His face disappeared into a conglomeration of corrosive fluid that detached from the wall and hurtled towards SCP-682.
Oh, that was so uneasy. Oh, that made me feel super weird. Yo, okay, I need to see a being that does not mind tussling. Wait a minute. Oh, this is the origins of SCP-682 Part 2. I was like, wait, this isn't just versus? Caught me off guard for a second. But should I check out the other parts? I don't know. This one was specifically, maybe it's the wrong one. I don't know. Hopefully not, but let's keep going.
The beast fell.
But is there an entity or an SCP that's not afraid of this dude? Like, is there someone who could square off with him? I need a versus video. I don't mind to see 106 stomping people, but I need to see something stomp SCP-106.
So his face liquefied like butter in a hot pan as the acid washed over him. He screamed in agony and felt the flesh around his mouth crack and split. A searing solution of melted flesh and bone ran down his throat. He fell away from the wall and plummeted down the elevator shaft.
Jeez. 682's immortal though, right?
The beast pulled himself out of the rubble and looked upwards. There was no way he was reaching either the elevator shaft or the other several floors he had crashed through on his descent. He was in some kind of storage room. Crates were piled high and all covered in the same black substance. He turned to see the old man casually sitting on one of the boxes, head tilted at an angle, with a smile on his face.
I have waited so long for this moment. Leave me alone. I have heard so many titles for you. The steed that death will ride into the apocalypse. One of the Scarlet King's children.
I've heard of the Scarlet King.
The servant from the garden. Which one are you?
All of them.
All of them. I think we both know you aren't the devil.
The beast suddenly fell through the floor into a bubbling black whirlpool. 682 roared in defiance and sunk his claws into the floor and began trying to claw himself back out. He could feel the acid beginning to work its way through his lower body. And then just as suddenly, he was falling through the air. 682 landed almost immediately on soft grass. He took a few moments to center himself.
He ended up in Midgar? With the Yggdrasil? Why is he with the World Tree? What's going on?
As the sun shone brightly on his face.
He's about to meet
The fall was
Odin.
interrupted almost immediately, as a massive glowing sword came down on his hindquarters.
No!
682 said. He started to run further into the garden, trailing blood as he went. Our Lord has declared you unwelcome in the garden. I will see to your removal. The glowing angel holding the sword raised a hand, and 682 was lifted off the ground.
You have corrupted his greatest creation. Leave this place and never return.
682's limbs flailed uselessly in the air. Then suddenly he was hurtling out and away from paradise. He landed on soft grass again.
Oh,
The sun shone brightly.
don't tell me 106 put him in a time loop. Or like just not a time loop, but an infinite loop in a separated space. I guess it would be technically a time loop if you were separated off like in a pocket dimension that has its own inner workings of time. That would suck. That is like, that would... Oh, I got so many more comments I want to say on it, but man, I don't want to be esoteric.
Once more, and then a massive glowing sword came down on his hindquarters. Our Lord has declared
No,
you
bro,
unwelcome
this
in
would
the
be
garden.
crazy.
I will see to your removal.
It almost seems like if, okay, so with the case with 096, 106 just brought him to like his kind of backstory with the whole World War trenches stuff, but it seems like he also just shows you your greatest fear if he knows about you, unless you end up like one of those piles of bodies in the beginning or end up in that pile. It just seems like he just straight up melts certain people's faces.
682 didn't run this time. He closed his eyes as he was lifted up and hurtled through the air once again.
Oh, he just accepted it.
He landed. Our Lord has declared you unwelcome.
Fucking hell!
The old man chuckled at the sight. The lizard had a strange mind, but was not wholly unreadable.
He drew him on a throne, bruh. You could tell SCP Illustrated likes the old man a little bit too much. He went in on these drawings in this video, and I stuffed through the flesh that hates, but nah, from what I'm seeing here, my dude was saucing on the designs, on the art.
This garden was the site of the creature's greatest regret, and its greatest source of sorrow. But the beast was already adapting to this too.
Yeah.
Wait, is the beast sleeping now? Through torment? This wouldn't do. The old man let the scene dissolve away, and he looked down at the pitiful creature from atop his throne. 682 landed hard on the stone floor, and bounced twice before coming...
Wait, before we see him attack him. Okay, I was trying to see if there was anything weird about the throne. Maybe like some World War Easter eggs.
His throne. 682 landed hard on the stone floor, and bounced twice before coming to a rest.
Ooh.
Then it opened its eyes, looked up at the old man, and leapt.
Let's go.
682 pounced on 106 and began bludgeoning him, each strike tearing strips from his fists. 682 struck again and again and again.
Whoa! Animations? Okay. 682 whoa, my bad. I started reading it. I started getting into it. Oh
Praying
my
mass of
god.
concrete and shattered skull fragments
Is
flew outwards like
106 immortal?
shrapnel
I can't remember.
until 682 finally ceased his assault. He fell backwards and took some deep breaths. The headless body of the old man lay there, motionless. But just as the beast thought his duel was over, it began again. The corpse was swallowed up by the black tar, and a renewed, whole old man stepped out from a wall.
This is literally Noob from Mortal Kombat. If you don't know who Noob is, well, then it's alright. And I feel like not everybody has played Mortal Kombat. There could be still people, but this is literally Noob. Literally Noob from Mortal Kombat. Like, literally Noob. I wish I could show you like a scene of Noob real quick in a video, but yeah.
The old man sneered.
I expected more.
SCP-682 dug deep and vomited acid at the man. SCP-106 stepped to the side. The acid went soaring through past the old man and came splashing down on the beast from another portal the old man had opened
he's
in the
literally
ceiling
Noob.
above him.
It's
682
literally Noob.
roared from the pain and lunged at the old man once more.
There's more
106
people who do
opened
that
another
before.
gateway and a serrated rock formation came shooting upwards, impaling the reptile. The old man stepped forward, dodging the flailing limbs, and began to sink his hand through the flesh and into the beast's chest cavity. 682 felt the withered, blistering hand grip his heart and then tear it out. He turned to look at the old man. This time he was sporting the smile.
Pathetic.
682 jolted his entire
Let's
body to the
go.
right, breaking free from the rock and impaling the old man on his tail in the process. He smashed him into the floor, and the old man quickly sunk into it. 682 spun around looking for where he would appear from next. Several new eyes formed on his head, all looking outward for their target.
I thought you wanted more.
Yo! Let's go!
682 saw a puddle beginning to spread out to his right. By the time the old man had only just managed to get his head and shoulders out, 682 was already on him.
Yeah.
Quick snap of the jaws and the old man was reforming and ascending
Let's
from
go.
another portal. Again, 682 was there waiting for him. The old man proceeded to open up several dozen portals to confuse the reptile, but he was welcomed by tendrils ready at each one. He was quickly ensnared and brought to the reptile's face. The old man's acid ate away much more slowly now at the beast's skin.
Literally an oversized Komodo dragon.
A second tendril suddenly fired towards the old man and forced its way down his throat, splitting his jaw with a wet crack.
Oh.
He felt it spinning around inside as if he had swallowed a blender.
Enough.
The old man shouted as he reformed again. He opened a massive portal in the storage room and both 682 and all the contents began to sink into it. A piercing scream suddenly came blaring from the PA system. The unmistakable sound of a young man in the most agonizing pain. 106's dinner bell was ringing. He closed the portal, bisecting the reptile, and looked down at him.
You hear that? Broken femur. So young. And in so much pain. So much adrenaline. They spoil me sometimes.
That's what.
682 coughed up blood and bile and clawed his way away from the pool that was still eating away at his belly. 106 waved his hand and corrosive fluid began to creep along the ceiling, burrowing up and throughout the concrete.
Until our next dance, then.
The sound of cracking and
Until our
grinding
next
rock echoed
dance.
around the walls as 682 looked up at the heavy stone slabs. The old man gave the beast a smile and disappeared as the ceiling collapsed. And that concludes this entry. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Massive thanks to Dr. Sumerian, my co-writer for this project. Go to his channel now, click the latest video and send him some love. Massive thanks to all...
I need 106 to get his ass whipped. I like literally got whipped by 682 with the whole tail thing, but then it turned into some 18 plus tentacle things, if you know what I'm talking about. horrible joke. Bro, 106. Okay, so at first when he got the whole tentacle down the tentacle blendy super ultra combo down his throat, I was like, okay, 682 is clapping him. And when he said enough, I was like, okay, 682's tired of getting smashed. He hasn't experienced pain like this in a while, but he's actually getting clapped by something that could like maybe not rival him. I feel like literally having that corrosive acid BS is kind of, he's cracked out of his mind. He's kind of got some broken OP abilities where literally the portals he goes through is pretty much the corrosive material or like acid, like, so it's literally like you can't get away from getting damaged from him. You try to get away from him, technically you don't get away from him. He comes for you. So it's like he drops you in a portal, and like as you're going through that portal in whatever, you know, weird ass realm he wants to put you in, like how SCP-682 was in that little, like, I guess the garden was supposed to be, I'm gonna need a little bit of background on the garden. Is the garden supposed to be like an SCP or like a place in the SCP world? Well, regardless, it was like Midgar, so obviously that was a part of something in SCP or in 682's lore that would get under his skin. But when you're put through the portal into that realm, literally you go through a pool of like corrosive like melting away, and then you're dropped into a reality that he wants you to witness, like the illusion he creates for you. So you're literally like constantly surrounded in corrosive black tar, which is like ridiculous. But I remember 682 like adapts. That's the thing about 682. So that was the whole thing with the just kind of give it up on the illusion. Like, bro, you're not fooling me with this illusion anymore. I'll just take it. And then their battle ensued, and 682 growing the eyes and kind of like adapting was sick as hell. But is his regeneration slow or fast, or it? I don't necessarily know if it's ear, you know. Other than that, that was a cool fight. That was a cool fight. I actually seen a being finally stand up. I expected 096 I expected 096 to be boxing, you know. I thought the dude was literally bloodthirsty until he kills who sees his face. Like, you can rip off limbs, torture it, and man, if that thing is just a torso, it'll still be crawling towards you. That's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a video that I saw a long time ago that someone else put together. I'm not sure, man. I will see y'all in the next one. Much love in Moonlight. And I don't know, give me more SCPs, of course, down below. And type one thing you're grateful for. And say it out loud. I'll see you. Peace.